What is going on, my friends? My name is Xaul and welcome back to my channel. We are now 3 weeks in. You believe that? 3 weeks. Count them. 3 weeks after I had decided to restart this project. And honestly, I can't believe it's already been that long. Thinking back, like it feels like only a couple days ago I decided to start recording videos again. And I know 3 weeks is not a long time in the grand scheme of things, but you know, it's just kind of interesting to think about how quickly time passes. But I do want to mention I am very glad of the results of it so far. I'm very proud of the work that I've been putting out, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. And also, I can't wait to see what the future holds, because I would like to continue doing this for a long time still, because good God, as much work as this project is, it is a lot of fun, and I know it can be very much worth it in the end. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this content. By the looks of it, you guys have been. It's been an interesting week this past week, and if you missed any of the videos, here's a quick recap. Starting off on Monday, we did something a bit different. We, instead of playing a game for our live stream, we decided to go ahead and write some music. And that was done in the form of the MuseScore live compositions. And if you did not catch that live stream, there will be a link to this one as well as every other video in the description. So go ahead and go check that out for me. We didn't finish the piece, and we still have yet to do that, but eventually we will. So go ahead and check that out. It was quite interesting, something a bit different. Also on Monday, we took on Celeste yet again. This time around, we continued right where we picked off last week, and let's just say it was more rage. A lot more rage. We finally made it through that segment that was giving us so much trouble, but then the rest of the video after that was honestly just, I don't know. Let's just say I was not happy. There were a lot more challenges that lied ahead, but I am happy to announce we did make some progress. Come Tuesday, we took on the Redstone Mines in Minecraft Dungeons, which was a fairly difficult but short level. If you did not, or if you happen to miss that one, go ahead and go check that one out as well, if you don't mind, please. It was a really fun one, and we actually managed to die a few times, including one quite hilarious death where I died by a minecart. Wednesday happened, and it was time for another episode of Layers of Fear 2. And this time, it got weird. We fell down into the machine cargo bay, it seems, and there was a bunch of insane stuff happening down there, including a lot of stuff I could not really explain. But if you missed that episode, please check that one out too. I mean, I know I say that for everyone, but it was weird. It was cool, but it was weird. And then the Pedestrian was ramping up on Thursday, and this game's starting to get really good. I do want to go ahead and mention that. In fact, this game is going to be getting really good in the next episodes coming next week, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But this week's episode was not a bad one either, minus some minor frustrations kind of halfway through, because these puzzles were probably the hardest puzzles that I had to take on in that game so far. They were difficult, but we made it through it. That's why it was a bit of a longer episode. And then come Friday, we took on Celeste both in livestream form and in video form. In livestream form, we went back to the B-sides and we decided to start taking on the Summit B-side. And yes, I know I said I was not going to do this, but it is important to note that there is a reason that I'm doing this, and you'll find out next week the exact reason why I have to go back and do these B-sides, but I do need to complete the B-side for the Summit, as well as for the Reflections level, which was the one before. In addition to that, we had another regular mainline episode of Celeste. This time we tried to keep the rage at bay a little bit because nobody wants to be frustrated when playing this game, you know? I mean, Celeste is a really fun game, and I know it's meant to be challenging, but the thing is, if you let that challenge get to you, then honestly, you're just not even going to be having fun with it anymore. But anyway, it was a good episode, I think. It was kind of different in terms of commentary, because I was recording it like super late at night. So I was a little bit loopy, hence the name State of Insanity, but hopefully it will be enjoyable nonetheless. And then come Saturday, we took on Minecraft Dungeons yet again. This time we ventured into the Desert Temple, where we fought the Nameless One. And it had probably some of the most gorgeous graphics I've seen in this game yet so far. I mean, it was really nice to look at. And I thoroughly enjoyed it both times I had to run through this. And yes, I had to run through it twice, because I did end up game overing in that final fight. But either way, we did end up making it through, and it was really fun to play through. So by all means, check that one out as well. And there you have it. Alright, so that is our week in recap. It was a good week nonetheless, and once again, all the videos will have a link to them in the description below, so if there was any that interest you that you happen to miss, be sure to check that out. And moving right along, it's time for some more comments. That's right, we got some more comments coming right back at you. Alright, and the first comment of the day is going to come from Celeste on the video in the Mine Again Minecraft Dungeons episode number 5, and she says, you have a pet bat now, can you tame them in the original game too? Well, to answer that question, unfortunately no. In the original game you can tame dogs and cats, and also you can get yourself a horse and maybe ride around on a pig, but you cannot tame bats. In fact, bats are kind of pointless almost in the game. Bats, they just fly around in the caves, and you can kill them and they won't attack you, but they don't drop anything, so they're just kind of there. I guess more of a atmosphere building thing more than anything, but either way, no, you cannot tame the bats. It is cool that you can tame them in this game. In fact, actually, it's funny you bring that up, because I was trying to pinpoint the time when I got the bat pet, and I only realized it in the later episode this week that I had him. This next comment comes from Maya Kitty Rose on this week's episode of Layers of Fear, The Machine Goes On. And she says, if I were to play this, I'd turn off the ability for that thing to kill me, but I'd be scared enough to run away from it. Also, every time I hear a wind sound, I think of a friend of mine. He always made jokes, and we'd always call scary wind sounds in horror games spooky wind. It was an ongoing joke, and now I tell spooky wind to leave me alone a lot, and mannequins are terrifying. Thank you, Doctor Who. Yeah, you told me the story about the mannequins in the Discord. It definitely got me on edge. Like, I understand why you would be afraid of them and why people are afraid of them. Honestly, the whole thing with the weeping angels and the statues, that's just, it freaks me out. It really does. And I do remember seeing similar things to like that in like other games and whatnot. I can't pinpoint any game names at the time being, but I know it's a common theme. I'm sure like if you were to look up some horror games, I'm sure it would creep up from time to time. But either way, as far as turning on the safe mode and whatnot, yeah, I don't blame you. In fact, I was half tempted to turn it on for this gameplay. Not because, like, I'm afraid of the monsters and whatnot, but mainly just because of pacing. And after you die by a monster or something one time, it's kind of annoying to have that happen several times over again. It's like, at that point, you're like, okay, yeah, I've seen this jump scare, and at this point I just kind of want to move on with the game, you know, and that's kind of how I felt about it. Alright, and the final comment of the game comes yet again from Celeste, and she says, what the, for some reason, YouTube thinks this game is Fallout 4? How odd. Also, at some point in the game, you're going to have to play it at night. It looks like the sun is setting near the end of the episode. Honestly, that's actually a very interesting comment, and I say that for this reason. Next week's episode may or may not be at night, and it may or may not be super duper amazing. I just thought I'd go ahead and throw that out there, a little spoiler for y'all. But as far as the YouTube thinking it's Fallout 4, that's actually more my fault than anything. I forgot to actually set the game for a lot of these. I don't know why it defaulted to Fallout 4 of all games, because, I mean, I have no Fallout 4 content on this channel, nor probably will I ever have any Fallout 4 content on this channel. But either way, honestly, I realized that as like for all these videos within the past few weeks, I am going to have to go back and kind of like change a few settings, including the game in which was being played, and also like add some tags and whatnot. But it's interesting that you bring that up about playing the game at night. I'll just say that. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this week's comment section. So thank you everybody who commented on the videos. Remember, if you want to have your comment featured in my video, feel free to leave a comment in any one of the videos, and I'm sure I will acknowledge it in some way, shape, or form. If I don't feature it in the video, then worry not. I will still I'll at very least heart the comment, but I'll try and reply to the comment as well if I have the time to do so. Alright, so moving on to next week. Next week is, again, going to be similar to this week. I know I keep saying that, but next week's videos will be pretty interesting. I'll say that. There are a couple of them, especially, that I would like you guys to be on the lookout for, and those ones are going to be my Celeste videos, especially Mondays, because Mondays we had a couple of technical mishaps, so I had to do a lot of extra editing on top of that one. And because of that, Monday's video is going to be a little bit different than the normal Celeste ones. Either way, I mean, I still think it is a good video, and I'm actually very happy given the circumstances with how it came out. But there's also, I came to a very, very startling revelation in that episode as well that you don't want to miss. And the other episode that I would like you to keep an eye out for will be next week's Pedestrian video. And I kind of already hinted at it, but there's gonna be something really cool that happens toward the end of that episode. I'll just say that. So you guys want to watch that one. In addition to that, we will be continuing our other series. We will be continuing Layers of Fear yet again. And I'm not sure about the live streams yet. I might go ahead and try and continue the B-sides for Celeste, or I don't know. I'll figure something out, but either way, that's going to be next week, and hopefully you guys are excited for the 4th week of YouTube. With that being said, I don't think there's any more news that I have to share with you today, so that's going to wrap up today's vlog. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Not sure what I'm going to do for this week's Creative Corner this time around. I might do one more composition of my own, because yet again, I still don't have any submissions yet, but I do have means of collaborating with others who would be able to submit something to share with y'all. So stay tuned for that, hopefully next week. For now, we're going to wrap up the vlog with another Creative Corner. Alrighty guys, welcome to today's Creative Corner. Today I decided on something a little bit different than normal. It's a bit different because this particular composition is actually one of my older ones. Well, it's weird because it's one of my older ones, but I remade it and kind of updated it and made it sound a bit newer and fresher. But either way, I wanted to share this one with you because, I mean, I know we're in the dead heart of summer right now. And this one kind of has a more wintry feel. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for summer to be over, and I'm ready for the cooler months to come, and for winter to kind of take hold, and to see that beautiful snow. Not that it really snows here, but you know. Either way, this one is called Bellfrost Overture, and like I said, it does have a wintry feel, not necessarily Christmas, but a wintry feel, so hopefully you guys will appreciate it. This is a bit of a longer composition versus the previous ones, and the reason for that is because I look back and I realize I don't have many shorter compositions, actually. So I guess this is just going to be a bit of a longer episode. But either way, I hope you enjoy Bellfrost Overture.